I remember reading a National Geographic article on poles of inaccessibility. South Dakota is as far away from all the coasts that you can get on the North American continent. So if you live in South Dakota, you're 1,000 miles from every single coast. We really do have a connection to the ocean, but if you're from South Dakota, and especially if you're a student, you just really don't understand the significance of it, and it's really easy to just really not even think about that.
To better connect his inland students with the coast, Spencer Cody came up with a plan. He and 11 6th through 12th grade students and a fellow teacher from Roscoe, South Dakota would give up their spring break for 4 days and over 3,000 miles of round-trip driving to Mississippi for a chance to see the ocean.
I'd always predicate, well, our field trip, we're going to go to a NOAA lab, and then I'd tell them where. And, because if you tell them, well, we're going down to Mississippi, they just look at you like you're crazy.
They would discover organisms and ecosystems a world away from the farms and fields back home.
If you're from South Dakota, it's easy to think we live on an oceanless planet because you see an ocean of grass.
On their first day in Pascagoula, students toured the NOAA ship Oregon 2 and got a feel for life aboard a research vessel. But actually getting out into the Gulf waters allowed them to experience what it's like to do scientific research at sea.
We trawled for about 15-20 minutes, hopefully get a nice sampling of the organisms that were there, brought the trawl up and put it on the table, and I think always the best part at the start of that is just the sheer excitement of getting to see whatever comes out of the net. And if you have a trawl like that, these kids got a chance to actually hold that animal in their hands, see those chromatophores firing, see what their eyes look like, see how their movement is.
To have them in my hand, it was a fun, they felt weird.
Kind of cool. I mean, they were slippery and slimy, and they got ink on Brianna, but I feel bad about it, but it was funny.
We saw 13 different types of fish, and we saw squids and shrimp and crabs.
I think it's always easier to pair, why you're doing something and why you would want to learn something and why you would necessarily want to conserve or protect that animal if you have a chance to see them up close and personal.
Many of these students, they had not only not been to the ocean, but many of them really hadn't been out of the state.
Bringing the ocean to South Dakota wasn't always on the radar, but when Spencer Cody was accepted to the NOAA Teacher at Sea program, doing authentic, hands-on research aboard a NOAA ship, sharing the ocean with his students became possible. On their second day, students gained a deeper understanding of coastal ecosystems at the University of Southern Mississippi's Marine Education Center. They had the opportunity to explore marshy forests and to gain direct knowledge of sharks through dissection.
I love hands-on stuff. I want to be a shark specialist and work in dissecting sharks and all that stuff.
Oh, I definitely think they liked it, even those who were maybe a little grossed out about it, but they were definitely interested in it. They certainly weren't disengaged.
To cap off the trip, the students visited a local aquarium and took a ride on a swamp boat to catch a glimpse of local alligators.
When I think about this trip, what I'm excited about is that maybe we'll see some of these students pursue science careers as a result of this field trip.
I think this trip has given me a bigger picture of what I'll be doing in my future, and this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to do stuff like this.
I always kind of think science is kind of the VIP backstage pass to understanding the universe, and who can resist that?